Hey y'all. Hey,
Hey.
up there. Cheesing. How are you guys doing? We're back for another Monday. We're breaking down these very big episodes. We had that bye week. Everybody was stressed out. Where are my shows? Where are my shows?
Yes,
But now we finally got a juicy episode of Married to Medicine. We got part 1 of Potomac. Let's get into it. Do you want to start? Let me hear your thoughts of this Karen. Like, we just gonna go to Karen video. We just gonna go to Karen.
Because I don't think we can go any further. We gotta start right there. And okay, like I was just explaining to you. Hey y'all, hey, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and like this video as y'all join in, and make sure you comment on everything that we're talking about so we can interact with the comments, okay?
Please.
Anyway, back to what I'm saying. So I end up watching live. I usually watch on Peacock the next day. But I watched it live last night, and baby, let me tell you, as soon as they played the very first Karen video, I thought, is that how you gonna leave it? Like, wait a minute, is that where we wait? Okay, then we come with the next video, and baby, is there such thing as triple toes down? Because I feel like she just triple down on the double down. You know what I mean?
That was absolutely horrible. Okay, I'm gonna let you finish, but that was horrible. Yeah, it was horrible.
I mean, this is where I'm going with it, because that's what I'm saying. You know, I mean, we got absolutely nowhere. And I'm kind of confused at the point in which we see that, and then everybody's having this discussion about, you know, wherever she is, a private treatment center.
Yeah, I ain't like the wording of that. So she down to the country club and just in a little separate room. You check in from 3 to 4
and right.
What's going on?
Private treatment center. Yeah. And I didn't like that she used the antidepressants. Listen, here's the thing. I'm not here to say what her problem is. I'm not a doctor. You know what I mean? So my point really is that you seem to keep telling us that you don't have a problem. So I'm really confused at the point in which, where are you at and what are you there for? Because you still seem to say you don't have an issue. So like I said, she threw in the antidepressants so that she can lean on her, you know, mourning her parents' death. And I'm not here to tell nobody how long that's supposed to be either. Like, I have no opinion about that. My opinion is, when does that, like, even if this is a symptom of your grief, wouldn't that still indicate that there's a problem?
I thought that the depressant whatever prescription drugs, whatever she got going on, I thought that was a one of the okay things. Because you know, everybody was saying like, girl, you was not just drunk.
Right.
Come on now. You were drunk in something else. Yeah, you were drunk in something else. So I feel like that was okay. You're being honest with that. I feel like I agree with you though that you're saying antidepressants because you trying to lean in on I miss my mom, I miss my daddy, I miss Surrey County, all this. I grew up on a farm. Girl, please. Because it's very selective. You was missing your mama when you was turning your back on Wendy and Stacy and trying to grab up the new girls and form an alliance and
and that's, again, I'm not trying to say how long somebody should grieve, but we talking 5 years or so at this point. Like, I mean, you know.
Yeah.
Hi.
Oh, we got a comment.
Richard, thank you for joining us. You definitely can. You can also get hooked on antidepressants, they're opioids. Absolutely. Listen, I'm saying, I'm not here to say what it is that her problem is. Our issue is that she seems to deflect that there is a problem.
Yes.
There seems to be an issue with her wanting to admit that there is some problem, whether it be the antidepressants or the both mixed together. You know, because at some point one is not better than the other.
Yeah.
If you, like, say, even if that's a symptom of what you're going through, from your parents, death. Because I'm not here to say how long you should grieve either. Like, I'm not here to police that. I'm not here to police anything that she's doing. However, I don't think she took any accountability, and I was very, thank you, and I was very disappointed with the way I was disappointed. I was disappointed all around.
It was horrible from the rooter to the tutor. For me, I felt like you only sent in that video to throw it in Wendy's face. That was the most horrible thing to me. That was
and that like, I didn't even get there.
Shame. You could have said thank you, ladies. Like, y'all really been there for me. Y'all really helped me down. I said I needed my soldiers.
Baby, did you see Wendy's face, honey? Because she
wanted to break.
She was ready to have her tell her thank you, I appreciate you, and baby, she gave her dust, honey.
She kept on. She was like, the first person I want to thank is, drum roll, please. Then she'll go to the next person. And this person, I couldn't do it without them. Candace. And it's like, why are you doing that? You doing that on purpose, and you ain't learned your lesson. You 60 years old. You act like you're a teenager. Being that's a mean girl. Y'all always
wait, never mind. Even Candace got mentioned. How about Jazzy got mentioned? And Jazzy wasn't even on the stage.
Jazzy ain't on the stage. Candace ain't on the stage. And Wendy ain't showing up to events. That's money. She ain't showing up to events. She's like, come on. You really just never liked that girl.
Yeah.
And you just was an opportunist. And like, okay.
Didn't I say that about Wendy though? Again, Wendy had a good season this season, and hopefully this is part of her just going into next season, just owning on her own, as opposed to wanting to fortify any relationship with these ladies. Her relationship worked as long as her and Giselle wasn't getting along. Her relationship with Karen.
I think something happened off camera between her and Wendy that's unspoken of.
Okay.
Is that why she copied that damn wick candle? You remember we talked about that last week?
We did.
Or the week before, copycat and all this and all that. Yeah, that was last week. So that's why you was being antagonistic and doing this candle. But Wendy, well, maybe something, something always do happen off camera. It's always more than we don't know everything. It's an edited show. We get the little tea here and now that happen behind the scenes, but it's still always layers and layers and layers and layers and layers and layers and layers.
Which I can't stand that. Which we'll get into it as we get down further in the episode. Sorry, y'all. But like how they brought up that Miami trip for Mia. Sometimes it is hard for something to be going on off camera. And then it makes its way on camera, but we don't really know the story, about it.
Yeah. Oh, what's that, girl? What you eating? That look like some gummy worms. What's that? Oh, yeah.
It's watermelon, Sour Patch Kids.
Them look good. But yeah, okay. I got the Miami trip in my notes. Is there anything else we want to talk about? We want to talk about Shireen filing for divorce.
Oh.
You saw that?
I did. Okay. And I actually don't have many thoughts on it.
Because this is not her first time, right? They had gotten into it before for cheating. It's the same thing now. Infidelity and domestic violence, so-called, allegedly. So people saying, you leave him, you got him how you left him, and all this and all that.
Oh, how you get him is how you lose them.
Yeah.
Listen, I felt like even with Jazzy, and maybe it's because I've gotten older, and with age, you just have more little life experience, and you can look at things a different way. Listen, when certain things are going on with a person and they come to you a certain type of way, I think that you have to take that for what it is, So I threw Jazzy in there because, whatever her situation is with her now fiance, and this whole timeline, whether she was a side chick, I think she finds offense to that word because she feels like she met this guy, he wasn't in a relationship. But you met a guy who had 2 children under, the age of 2 or 3. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So in some way, whether it's a full-blown relationship or not, there is something going on. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And when a guy walks away from something like that, whatever the reason might be, in a sense, like, because you're not saying anything that would be proven to be like, oh yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, we can't really back you on that, girl.
right, so when a guy does that, what makes you think he wouldn't do it to you?
Yeah.
What proof do you have? Because what you do have is proof of what he will do. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of how I see that with her. You know what I mean? It lasted for as long as it could, and it probably lasted a little longer than any of us really even
But
thought.
why they calling her bad built? She was a bad built when she first met Apollo. Dragging that lady through the mud, literally and figuratively. That lady was not built like that. You saw the flashback for the RHOA. She was looking Model S.
Well,
listen,
she might have gained some weight. They get their body done, they gain some weight, they don't work out. It all, it turned out wrong.
Yeah. But I hope
it turned out wrong.
They all find happiness though, child.
I mean, yeah, that's listen, that because clearly it says that they was separated when they did this show.
Oh, okay. I catch that
on this episode, huh?
I ain't catch that. It was in the episode.
Oh, I'm talking about Married to Medicine.
Yeah, Shireen and Apollo was separated during. Mm-hmm. Oh, I didn't catch that too. Okay. Let's skip and let's talk about this Happy Stacy. Now, if Stacy, if you come out with Stacy or Happy Stacy or Blowing in the Wind with Stacy, Going with the Wind Fabulous, girl, we cannot have your back no more. Because you done sat up here, you done lied and said, I have no idea what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about. And then now we down to the CBD store and we see your face all over the packaging. Nah, if the ink is dried on the contract, you just go ahead and do it and make your money. But you should have been honest on the couch.
I'd say, yeah, she should have been honest on the couch. Mm-hmm. I think Stacy had a very good season, but I'm not really sure how she's gonna do this reunion.
Yeah. Now this is some good TV. Now it's not boring. It's not predictable. We getting into it. We getting into some good things.
Karen threw the whole monkey wrench in.
Yeah. Karen showing people how it's done, but Karen doing it so wrong. I hate how she did Wendy. That just really, like, when I saw that sneak peek, I was like, why would she do? Like, what did Wendy ever do to the girl?
And remember, I said when we did review, I said we got to see the context and what Wendy was, what she was talking about. Because even with that video, we didn't know that there was that second video with Karen in the white. We just really assumed everything had come from
that when she had
the first video. And so I remember, that's why I said, like, okay, we got to see the context in which she was talking about.
That is not,
and I felt bad for Wendy too. But again, I feel like I've called it out many times. Karen, in my opinion, I still feel bad for Wendy because it doesn't matter if it was in her face or not, but I do feel like Karen has always shown her hand. And again, Wendy needed an ally. So at this point, she really doesn't. You know what I mean? And so I guess everything showed its face when it needed to.
Yeah.
Hopefully she come in, stronger next season.
Yeah, hopefully. But another thing about that video, you saw how she snuck in like, oh, I'm not trying to be the grand dame no more. I'm a come back. Made it clear, baby. I ain't going to the reunion, but baby, I'm trying to come back. Keep my spot warm. Matter of fact, keep it cold because I'm a light it up when I come back. It don't even matter if it's cold. So we know she want to come back.
Do we want her back?
No, she really messed it up with me the way she did Wendy. That was just horrifying.
What do y'all say in the comments?
Yeah, let us know in the comments. Do y'all want Karen back, given the leak footage, given the alcohol dependency, the season, the videos, the sentences that's still pending? We still don't know. Can she come back? So how y'all feel? Y'all let us know. This is I was about to say Married to Medicine. Real Housewives of Potomac reunion part 1. Now, in my opinion, this was the very best part 1 ever.
It really was.
Ever. Any season, any city.
Yeah.
This was not a filler. This was ain't no fills.
Yeah, and you're right, because usually part 1 is like really boring. But thanks to Karen, grand dame or not, because she was surely acting like a grand dame, but
yeah, in that video,
leave that on the floor. But yeah, thanks to her, she threw that in, and we got right to it. And so I thought it was a great part 1.
Yeah, it was. I think it was excellent. All right, so the reunion starts off where the finale ended, which was Karen's guilty verdict. Shockingly, they added portions of the leaked body cam footage. Did your jaw drop or did your jaw drop when you saw how production added her footage with her footage in that one with the sit? Did your jaw drop when you saw that they added the leak footage and her sitting down with production? Like, that was a lot. They're giving her so much grace, and they cut out the scene when her and Wendy sat down and talked about the situation with Stacey. So what's the tea? How you feeling? You were shocked that they added the leak footage?
No, that's what they do.
I feel like they could have left it out. Now they could have, everybody saw. We ain't gotta like rub it in her face.
No, I don't think. I think Bravo. There, listen, we're not gonna act like they're not the shadiest of them all. That Bravo production team, baby, will go in the crates on your.
we see. They'll go back 4, 5 years. That's the base. They can't wait.
So for me, I expected it because I've seen and just off the round of shows, I've seen them do that where they add in stuff or maybe go, back to the person, kind of like what we saw with Karen's first video that they showed. So yeah, I was surprised that there were 2 separate videos. That is when my jaw dropped. I was like, say what now? Okay.
The whole part 1 was about her. I was shocked that they added the leaked footage. I was shocked that they added the part with Andy Cohen. I'm surprised if they did all that. They ain't add the Thomas Jefferson part. But yeah, and they really like hell. Like, Karen, you got a problem. I'm lit, and she's stumbling, and you saw the part where she was getting handcuffed.
And they're not going to get into that part. But I think it's more like, of course, they're gonna add Andy Cohen. He up for grabs.
Oh yeah. That man's still in trouble. He ain't paid them people off yet.
Pay who?
Cause you remember, like, he got problems with Bethany, different housewives.
Well, I don't know if they settled that or not, because it feel like it got really quiet. I know Nene settled with her thing.
Yeah, without context or whatever. Without prejudice.
So,
We'll see if Andy Cohen going down with Miss Wendy. We got to put money on both of their books. All right. Okay. So now we start in reunion present time in New York. The ladies are arriving, realizing Karen isn't coming to the reunion. Their sentiments are similar to how the viewers reacted when the reunion seating chart, right here, was released, and we all realized the grand dame will not be getting her feet held to the fire. Do you think the ladies genuinely didn't know she wasn't coming, or do you think a housewife like Kiana had like a little heads up, like possibly she?
I get the feeling that it's pretty possible that they didn't.
The way that Jazzy reacted, I was like, she was like, oh, Karen's not here, or maybe she be acting too, child. I don't know.
Well, listen, Jazzy tried a little hard,
Yeah.
but
She be trying to some reason.
I just imagine that that's just the personality that she had, like not answering the phone. So I imagine that nobody has spoken to her since the time that they said, might have been like Christmas or New Year's Eve. And so, yeah, at that point, they probably had no idea.
Mm-hmm. Clint Clark over here on TikTok
would have known. I think it may have been Giselle.
Okay. Clint Clark over here on TikTok says, I just wanted to hug Wendy. She was clearly sad. She was very clearly sad, and also she was trying not to be selfish and make it all about her. You could tell she was trying to be thoughtful in her response. And that's hard to do when you sad and you hurt and you obviously know somebody taking a jab at you and you can't really say nothing because they just say they're alcoholic and all this and all that. So it's like, I know that was really hard. And then that was the first blow. So we still got a whole 16-hour reunion to go. Still got to get through. Yeah.
And Wendy has had her back, especially this season. And I think that's what make it, at least for me as a viewer, that's what make it even worse for Karen in the sense because you had no grace in this whole ordeal. And it's ugly. You know what I mean?
That was really ugly.
Yeah, you should not come back as the Grand Dame. Like the who? I'm with Sharice now, the Grand Dame of not a Dame thing. Like because
okay, maybe the alcohol I had Karen forgetting to mention. Maybe she was still, detoxing.
No, she did that on purpose. That was well thought out.
No. That's why I say I feel like the only reason she did the second video was to sting Wendy. That's what it felt like. It felt like that was the whole purpose. Ken Clark over here said, "Is Karen still in the wellness center?" Child, we don't know.
And where is this wellness center? Is
the private recovery?
Right.
At her clubhouse.
Okay.
Okay, that's what I'm thinking. I don't think Karen did that on purpose. Oh, you think it did? Okay.
I mean, that's even a lot of grace considered the way she behaved this season. It's not just that one thing, it's the whole season. I feel like that's what I can't believe she stuck her heels in the sand the way she did on that video. Because that's what she was doing, is like I'm in a wellness center. You still kind of evading any type of responsibility. We still teeter around this subject that makes somebody look like an a-hole if they treating you poorly. You know what I'm saying? Or bad, So yeah, it was a dig to Wendy, but it's really because Wendy is what she's not, and that's unfortunate for her to be that age and to have to feel like she would need to do that to somebody.
But I guess that's what make you a reality TV star.
Or maybe that's what make you the Grand Dame, huh? Because
she said she coming back as Karen. I wonder when the Karen starting, because they say she a thrill off camera, But how can you?
I guess if you mean the nasty, it would be a thrill, huh?
Oh, I don't know. But Dr. Heavenly love Karen too.
We're gonna get into Dr. Heavenly, but we're gonna get into her tale because I'm about sick of her.
Okay, so now the ladies arrived to the reunion set dressed to kill. The theme was selected in order to honor their Panama girls trip. How did you like the decor? How was you liking it? You was feeling the tropical camera.
You know what? No. You know what? If they hadn't have told me what it was, I had no idea. It just looked like a bunch of stuff.
when they first posted it, I was like, okay, I think this from the Panama trip, because they had a bunch of different colors, and you remember when they was out shopping at the shops, it was like different colors. So I'm like, okay, I think this is after the Panama trip. But did they explicitly say? Because sometimes Andy would be like, here we are, Toya's closet.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't remember. Okay, Sean said, I think people were judging her too harshly for the accident, though. They were making me mad judging her so harshly. We know we aren't supposed to drink and drive, but we need to act like they never done it because we know they have. Yeah, drinking and driving, that's very serious.
Yeah.
Especially if you got 4 or 5, 1, 0 DUIs. Like, come on
But
now.
I think that's what, and like I agree with some of
Mhm.
what you're saying about the
Mhm.
harshness of it, because it's
Mhm.
kind of like, oh my God, how could you support that? And
Yeah.
like Mia was going a lot far with it. People use their verbiage to,
Try to sting you. Try to.
yeah, right,
Yeah.
to make something like a huger deal. But
Yeah.
I think what's most important is that, because we all do have the knowledge of just how serious it is. And then there's, at least for me, there's this gray line around how many is it that she actually had. Is it the
Yeah.
second, the third, the fourth? Like, so that becomes kind of an issue to think about too. And while we're talking about the present, or talking about antidepressants,
Mhm.
um, DUI is not necessarily
Alcohol.
something that's saying alcohol,
Uh-huh.
right? What they really are saying is that she somehow is impaired for some reason.
Mhm.
So we just happened to see that video, and we clearly could see that, yeah, something was up. And
Mhm.
I think it's up to her to kind of give us the fill in the blanks with that, to give us that information. So I
Yeah.
think, and I'm sorry that got long winded, but I feel like the issue everybody really is having, at least from my standpoint, is that she has not taken any accountability for that action. And that's it.
Yeah. Just do better, Karen. Just do better, Grandma. Shoot.
Well,
Dang.
yeah, we're gonna get into Dr. Heavenly, honey, because she
I
is,
oh, I love Dr. Heavenly Child. I'm from her.
listen.
I
Well,
get her.
we're
I
gonna figure
understand
out where
her.
Dr. Heavenly needs to be.
Wait, what you say? You said
We're
what?
gonna figure out where Dr. Heavenly needs
Need
to
to.
be.
Oh goodness. Okay, wait. Ken Clark over here says, the Married to Medicine was so good. Oh my God, King and Dr. Greg Phaedra was wrong talking about Apollo. I love Giselle and Ashley. Okay.
Well, we're gonna get into Married to Medicine. Let's go hop back into Real Housewives of Potomac.
Okay, let's get back into Potomac.
Okay, right. And sorry I keep going back to Karen, but
Yeah,
there was
that was the big news.
yeah.
I see a lot of people was talking about the episode of Married to Medicine. Not a lot of people was talking about Potomac, and I was like, Potomac was on fire. But I love the
Mm-hmm.
episode of Married to Medicine too. Okay, let's get
Yeah,
back into it.
well, mm-hmm.
So Andy opens with the elephant in the room, or lack thereof. Okay, we already talked about this, so
Yeah.
let me skip my notes. Hold on.
Ashley brought the picture out. Kudos to Ashley.
Yeah, she was somebody on her team told her to bring that picture.
Mm-hmm.
She was smart. Did you enjoy the timestamps? Cause did you notice that? You peeped that? Cause okay, so they said the reunion was filmed January 9th or something like that, and then they had
Yes.
that first video was filmed this day. I appreciate that. That like really
Yeah.
like told the story like, nah, something else that came out before we done posted this.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
not our business. We
Yeah.
trying to
Right.
get y'all, accurate information.
Mm-hmm.
Um Okay, so Giselle was really activated. She was really defending Karen. She was, and you see, she was crying, but it felt like nobody really realized the digs that were being taken to Wendy. Everybody was just all caught up in the tears, and they ain't catch the digs. And then Giselle was just like, "Well, Wendy, I told you, like, what? Like, she was just getting frustrated. Had a little menopause episode or something. Like, okay, Giselle, she wanted to trust the lady was manipulating her. The lady was, you said,
Yeah.
grooming. Okay, can I say that word? I'm already over here in trouble on
She
TikTok.
found out the hard way.
Yeah, she found out the hard way, and you saw she tried to warn Kiana.
And I do, Sean says down below that Giselle loves Karen. And listen, I do think that like I talk about this about Love and Marriage Huntsville, about these core six. You think about Karen and Giselle being the core housewives less. I do think that most times there is some allegiance or alliance,
Yeah.
and especially to however way they came together. But the fact that you start something out like this in whatever way with that person, there is some bond and maybe some loyalty that you would
Yeah.
have to the person.
Mhm.
Um, so I agree that Giselle loves Karen. I think
Mhm.
Karen loves Giselle. And I
Mhm.
think what we see play out is them having a respect for each other that, hey, I won't I'll try not to cross this line. You know what I mean? And vice versa.
Yeah, certain things
So,
are off limits.
mm-hmm.
But I feel like you can love her, you can do this, you can do that. But I feel like playing dumb this season was a little bit like, okay, come on now. Y'all know y'all done seen that leg toe up. But I guess it's like, okay, I already done alluded to, her butt dialing me. I done seen her do this. I done seen with blue eyes. We already done
I
discussed
think
all
they
this.
had to, we're not gonna kick her while
Yeah,
she
I think
down
that's
type
what
of
Giselle was doing.
yeah.
I really would have kind of appreciated a little bit more push, but she tried to do it the first episode, a little bit of push, but Karen was like,
And
don't.
I think that speaks to the loyalty part.
Yeah.
Like I think sometimes we do see we get a glimpse of being able to catch those moments. You know what
Candid
I'm
moments.
saying?
Truly
Like
candid
if you
moments.
pay
Uh-huh.
attention, you can see. You know what
Mhm.
I mean? Like sometimes when they pull somebody to the side and had a little conversation with them, like, look here, you know what I mean? Like I'm gonna need you to step your game up, woo woo woo. But for what it's worth, Giselle played the part of being neutral.
Yeah.
Um, and listen, I think I don't think her not being neutral, if she had a did anything extra, would have served any different purpose. Karen just was not graceful at
Yeah.
all about
Yeah. And
nothing,
then
and
she
so
doubled, triple down, like you said. Why would you do that? You
yeah,
ain't got no shame from the leak footage.
not
That's what it
one
is.
bit.
No shame. You
And it
ain't learned
felt like as
nothing.
long as like that first video, she was crying about her family. She just worried about the
Yeah.
family.
She
So it
open with her
felt
family.
like as long as she could figure out how to appease them, then everybody else, you know what I mean? And maybe that's true. You know what I mean? I get it.
Okay, so let's talk about when Jazzy enters the reunion set. She passes around the mirror wedding invite. What was that? It was just a mirror. Was it words on the mirror? Like, did it have like
I didn't really get to see exactly what it was.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know what the mirror was
Yeah,
about.
I don't know if that was like, oh, like, you know how Jocelyn, her nana was like, oh, I got my wedding certificate. I got it for you right here. You asked for it, and then it wasn't. She ain't had nothing. Or maybe so that was just her mirror, like her makeup mirror when she
Well,
was getting ready.
listen, I
What was
might be jumping off the cliff and I might be reaching very far,
it?
but I felt like it might have been a dig to Kiana.
Oh, chat. Oh, okay. I see that. I could see that
Um,
possibly.
that's all. Like, listen, and real slight, real.
But what was up with Andy reading that fake? He be having these fake questions from the audience, and this audience, like, that was, you threw a stone at Jazzy and you threw a stone at Mia. Everyone was like, well, damn, like that was the worst question. Like, they ready to fight. Do you think Jazzy was a side chick, and does it really matter now? Cause
Well, like I said, I think
with the man.
I think for her, I don't think she identifies with the definition of what a side chick is. I mean, like she's saying that, well, he didn't post her, so it's clear that he told her he was single. Then she wants to say that, well, she said that they wasn't dating either. So maybe they had some type of situationship again. And so to her, she doesn't identify that as being a side chick.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what woman outside of being young
Mm-hmm.
and just a little bit, not all the way there, like decides to jump into a full blown. I mean, I guess he being an NFL player helped, but anyway, relationship with somebody who got like a 1 month old son or something like, and that's a little suspect. I don't see why she doesn't understand that.
Yeah. Especially when you wasn't really okay. You can't even really lay down the timeline. It's
Yeah, so, I mean, we're not saying that she is. It's just being implied.
Yeah. Okay, so the whole situation was that he had a girlfriend. He already had a child. He didn't bring up the child to her. I don't know. It was a long drawn out story. You gotta go watch watch the episodes again, and then watch her interview with Carlos King. She also talks about it there with her exclusive with Carlos on his YouTube channel. So go back and watch that because she explained it there. And that's why everybody, insinuating like, girl, you was on the side, he was pregnant, and then it just got solidified.
He basically probably did break up with the girl. He probably still was dibbing and dabbing.
Mm-hmm. They are together currently, but we're saying how they started off. It was some kind of weirdness going on.
And so it's being insinuated that she might be, she at least is side chick adjacent.
Adjacent. Similar. Got some, characteristics that could be, Okay.
I don't want my man taking no breaks off of somebody while he trying to court me. Let's just be clear. That's because that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know why she clearly has something wrong with that terminology, and I get it because again, she doesn't identify herself that way. And it's clear why she doesn't. This man told her he wasn't in a relationship. She had no reason to believe otherwise. Outside of this lady being pregnant, what else is there to believe?
But dang it, I was going to say something, but I forgot. Okay, I can't remember. I'll remember it later. Okay, so they switched to talk to Ashley about her divorce. She says she has filed and completed her portion, and Michael has signed as well. And it's now up to the state of Maryland to finalize things. And the viewers, we saw in the present time that, there was a headlines. And today she also posted photos. I don't know if y'all saw it. Like, she had a little photo shoot, and she had like newspaper. I should have brought out the pictures, but it says, breaking news, Ashley's divorce is final. It was a cute photo shoot. The Photoshop could have been better, but the photo shoot was real cute. It was like very housewife-esque. She had the hair tied up. She was in the water. Child, I'm gonna probably steal that idea, child. But anyways. Okay. Yeah, we saw that it's final now. Ashley then
good for her.
Yeah, and she did some nice captions, some very insightful how she feels. She said she really in her caption to the photo shoot, the Photoshop photos, she was saying like, I really took my vows seriously. Like, I really did not want to get divorced from this man. I was really in this for the long haul, but things changed. So good for her. Hopefully her and Josh Harlow are good. We want the best for everybody. We love these shows. We don't want nobody to have a nervous breakdown and really going through nothing too bad. Okay, so Ashley then talks about the terms of the dang on divorce. She would be getting child support but no alimony, which is what Michael wanted from the get-go because that's what was in the prenup. So what we done dragged our feet and he done got what he wanted. What you got? Maybe it was double. Maybe the child support double. So really it's like really child support, but really half of it, I just say.
I think that's been the problem is she never was forthcoming with what it was. I think maybe she hadn't, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what they was fighting over.
Yeah. And then you remember the NDA, but she ain't talk about the NDA.
Right. She did
not. Andy throws it to Stacy. She shares that she would be getting alimony but no child support, but she wanted the opposite. These men just doing anything to play with your mind. Mia chimes in and says she's in the final stages of her divorce, child. Everybody was in an uproar. Child,
nobody believe her.
Yeah, nobody believe her. Child, Mia, I believe you. I know you don't want that man. I know you want to get divorced, child. I know. Are the men sorry or are they just plain sorry? Tell me how you feel. Do you believe Mia would get divorced from G? You already said no. Because the ladies were not convinced.
Excuse me, y'all. It's not that I don't think she will get a divorce from him. I absolutely think she will. Do I think she had done it at that time? No.
I believe that I think they both should have got both. Why not? Y'all men with money. If you don't like, what about alimony for like what?
Well, I feel like
3 years?
Ashley had the prenup.
Mm-hmm.
So I like that's what we're saying. What were they fighting over? Because unless she was contesting her prenup,
I
which
think
she
that's
didn't
what
make
it
that
was.
clear that that's what she was doing. Um, that's already written for you. So we're not really sure. Or maybe it was something with the house and stuff. I don't know.
Yeah, the house. That's another thing. Like, what's
Yeah,
going on with
there's
the
something
LLC
on the
house?
back end that she not being forthcoming about.
Mm-hmm.
But then with Stacey, you know, I thought I don't know. I thought what Stacey said made a little bit of sense to me. And it felt like it was okay because if they're gonna share custody of the child in that sense,
Okay. Mm-hmm.
and she gets the alimony, which I think alimony is only good until you get remarried. So that might be kind of
Mm-hmm.
but you know, that's the money that she will use to take care of her child while she has her child,
Fill
and
in the
vice
blankets.
versa with whatever it is that he makes. So it seemed like it made sense, you know, like, and I think maybe she feels like, and I think maybe that's a good place to be. Like, you don't, I would appreciate not feeling like out here to have some child support order, you know, like to
To
make
be
my
able to,
father,
yeah,
yeah,
it's
to
your
do things
baby.
to do, yeah.
But okay, so let's talk about the lump sum. Sean says so she got the house and child support and a lump sum, hopefully. But wasn't that the problem? Because you remember she was kind of boastful and everybody was like, oh, it's at that 10-year mark or 5-year mark or something. And she thought if she got to that mark, she was gonna get a lump sum, but she didn't read the prenup correctly, and Michael just let her be in the clouds, not knowing what she's signing. And I think that was the problem. Cause she thought she was gonna get half, but it wasn't half for whatever reason, child. We still don't know. I don't think Ashley knows.
Yeah, I mean,
Hopefully the attorneys know.
maybe you know, as long as she happy with it, or
Yeah,
maybe
it's done
sometimes
now.
it's worth like you know, I'm always that girl. Maybe this is my like strong black woman syndrome, but you know, hey, maybe it's worth just walking away and not getting a damn thing. I don't
Yeah,
know. You know what I
you
mean?
got
Like
platform.
maybe it's worth it that way.
Child, we ain't gonna worry about Stacey in that house, child, cause TJ say he ready to move in. After after she get
Well,
caught up on her
she
payments.
gonna have to pay him to do that.
She got to get caught up on them payments first, and he ready to move in. Okay. So let's go talk about finally someone called out GNA for having no fashions. I believe they never had any fashions though on their website, but I could be wrong. They spoke on how they don't have apparel because they are pivoting to community outreach. They tried their best to clean it up, but you could tell that they were stumbling. But someone actually calling them out. What are your thoughts on GNA?
I don't have any.
Wasn't it just socks on the website? I remember socks on the website at first, and then I'm waiting for more.
I
And
never
it was
did
black
go
and
look at
white.
the site. If I'm honest, I never did.
I think Kempire went on the site before. We love Kempire over here.
Okay, yeah.
I think Kempire, like on one of his lives, like visited the site.
So yeah, I'm like, I never had an opinion
You could
about
tell
it.
it was just for a storyline because,
Yeah,
like,
just something to do.
yeah, just something to do, something to like bring the attention, like a reason to come back, the reason to follow a story. Because actually, why you ain't feel comfortable to, invest money? It wasn't gonna be a lot of money. You got more money than me, and I could just, save a little bit and invest the money and push out my apparel business. It wasn't like you get favors. You can get with a photographer and for a favor, this thing on out, and you with Giselle.
You know, I wonder if it was more. I kind of understood where Ashley was coming from, just in the sense of if it was more about, let's say, if it had been successful and blew up. Now you have this business and this
you got to maintain it.
That well, not even maintain that possibly Michael can come after that money. You know what I mean? So you might have wanted to wait until your divorce is finalized before you start, bringing in other business entities and stuff.
That was wise.
It's giving she got Sheree. I agree. I agree. That's what I mean. Like I did look at She by Sheray's website, that pitiful thing.
Yeah, it's so expensive for what, girl? Trying to pay your mortgage and everything else. Okay, let's get back to the Let's get
back to it.
Let's get back to it. They discussed the GNA event that got double booked with Karen's event. And Giselle actually fesses up and says that her anger was towards Karen and she didn't mind apologizing to the other ladies because she realized that, I was really mad at Karen because she knew exactly what she was doing. And then they switched to talk about Mia's birthday in Miami. If my memory serves me, Mia's birthday party was in Miami because she was in Miami for Bravo Fan Fest. And Jazzy and Stacey, and Jazzy and Stacey, I believe they were not featured on the Fan Fest, so they made a special trip to Miami. Only Mia and Wendy were, representing RHOP. So they was on the midnight train to Georgia, put in their money, and that's the big deal. Like that's the extra. You done made me piss me off. Like
right? Yes. Mia's a horrible friend. But again, I don't like when Ashley said she knew her to be a good friend. I wanted to know when.
Yeah, we needed examples.
This is the same girl that brought her friend on here that we never knew nothing about, and threw this lady right under the bus 2 seconds after we met her. So, no, she is a horrible friend.
Hello to Housewives from a Housewives. You girls have heard the news that Karen Huger surprised Andy Cohen last night on the reunion and Karen Huger breaking her whatever as well. Who? Wait, what?
About, I think she's talking about the video.
Oh, okay.
And mentioning Andy's name.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, honey, we talked about that at the top.
Mia was definitely wrong for that. I don't know. I'm a sympathizer. I'm a sympathizer.
Oh my God! I don't even know how you have it in you.
This is what happened. This is what I think happened. She was wrong. She was obviously, she saw them notifications, the text coming up. She was obviously ignoring it. It came to her phone. She was texting her phone.
I'm trying to get to the sympathy part. Where's the sympathy?
She was definitely ignoring them people, 100%. I believe she was ignoring them. But I think that Gordon probably said, hey, I'm going to take these kids. Or something. Like, she probably was going through something. She was wrong, though. She was wrong. But, okay. All right, I'm going to just be quiet. She was wrong, though. She was wrong for
you, that. You dug in your bag for that, and girl, like, throw it away, because that didn't even work.
Poor Mia trying to run out the reunion.
Yeah, no, Mia.
Trying to leave. No. She don't like it. And they calling her out on it. They're like, okay, well, we trying to hold you accountable, but you crying, and it's like, now you're making us look like the bad people. The audience gonna say something.
And didn't I tell y'all when she pulled them little crocodile tears out when they was on their trip about them kids? I told y'all then that no. Like I said, but I did say it. I'm like, I hate to even do that because people like to do it. But no, honey. And this lady, listen, she is not a child. This lady ain't been a child in a few decades.
Long time.
You know what I'm saying? So listen, get it together because you did it. You know what I mean? Like you wasn't crying then. Why are you crying now?
That's uncalled for. That was not good. You there on a business trip and you just make it fun. Okay, I'm gonna turn up. I remember seeing them on the boat, her and her friends. But it's a good thing Jazzy stayed. But how you come to the dinner is at 8 and you came at 11 and you ain't answering the phone? Yeah, that would make me mad. That would make me very, very, very mad.
And just to know what type of attitude Mia has, she didn't care.
They said she ain't care.
I know, and I believe that. That's what I'm saying. Like, why are you crying today? You know what I mean? Like, because now everybody know you an a-hole. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, because that's what that was. That was a shitty move. Excuse my French, but yeah, it was a shitty move. And she seems to be a shitty person at this point. Mia,
Also, girls want to next Sunday night in part 2 of Reunion that Mia Thornton will throw major shade at Giselle.
She gonna try, honey. We gonna see. She ain't got nowhere to go. But
she
the
gonna
key
leave.
is that she did not stay. Now
She
we
not
did
gonna stay.
see.
She not staying. She not staying the whole. You can already tell. She
Yeah,
got to
that's
step
the
out of there.
key is that she did not stay, and that's we already see the beginnings of her ready to up and leave.
Yeah, but they was trying to say that her and who it was fighting, her and Kiana had a fight. You remember they tried to spread that, get that little rumor. But yeah,
I'm still not seeing that. But
yeah, I don't think they're gonna fight. Yeah, I don't think they're gonna
I
fight.
guess get
I know she's
explosive.
gonna
I'm
leave.
not seeing where that transpired or happened. But maybe she spazzes out because of all the things that she's been going through. You know, because then that's the other thing too. I'm going through so many things. And this is not me being not compassionate, because I am very compassionate. I just kind of don't have a lot of compassion for people who make their own fucking troubles.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, life is hard enough without you running around playing Chef Boyardee and you know what I mean? And
Karen.
Everything up. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So Sean said, "Wait, Mia left the reunion. We're assuming we ain't see it. We ain't got we ain't got no advanced copy of no episodes. But we inferred that because you remember when they released all the reunion looks, everybody had a stand up, picture, but Mia had a sit down picture, and that's odd. That's not something that's typical. They want to have everybody standing up, and then the only picture they have is Mia sitting down. So that's how we kind of guessed that she left early. Also, we watched part 1, and we see that she's about to leave just now. She's saying I'm leaving. And then in the preview for part 2, we see that it was another time she gets up and walk away. So we're thinking that she ain't gonna stick around to the end. And why they don't take pictures beforehand? Y'all know these people get mad and be want to flip out. Y'all gotta take these pictures as soon as these people get their makeup on.
We know she not leaving that check, but she just dramatic. And that I think that's our point about the tears. Like, you just dramatic, girl.
I can't hold back. Okay. Little Isley brother.
Yeah. Listen, dramatic.
All right.
Call Lenny Williams, honey.
How are we rating this reunion? For me personally, I said this at the top. The very best reunion part 1 in franchise history. Any season. Child, it was not a filler. Usually they see, oh, we're getting out the car. I'm ready for today, girl. The shade is going to be real. It's all these cliches, all these them putting on makeup, getting undressed, Andy visiting, knocking on doors, seeing what's going on. It was none of that, baby. We was about to throwing bows. First out, hot out.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was. I loved it. It was very entertaining, and it seems like part 2 gonna be
entertaining. Sometimes you gotta pop out and show.
Yes. And Atlanta better pop out and show too.
Well, I don't know. Atlanta is really giving. We're gonna talk about that, y'all. Y'all gotta join us on March 5th. Excuse me, March 5th, Wednesday before Atlanta premiere, so we can talk about Atlanta. But Atlanta is giving us Fashion Nova vibes. I don't know.
You said Love and Hip Hop.
Love and Hip Hop, Zeus Network, like somewhere in between there. I don't know who they got for the production.
I liked it though. I thought it was nice. It was fresh. It was Love and Hip Hop-esque, like that look. But I liked the look. I feel like it really highlighted the colors, but it did give like that little asterisk, that little. It was leaning toward
all the leopard print gave.
Okay, I didn't like the leopard print. I ain't like what Shamia wore, but I love Shamia. I didn't like it. I thought maybe a different jacket for Shamia. I like that she stood out and wore shorts.
Again, we gonna I feel like maybe that was their way of, like maybe getting youthful. Maybe that's the approach they were going for, because it's a lot of
the youth, appealing to the young kids.
But it went cheap very quick.
Hopefully they do better in the season. But it looked like the way that they're filming the season, because you remember that sneak peek at Bravo Fan Fest when Portia got stuck in the elevator and all that. It looked like they filmed the season like that too. You could tell like she looked like very rich, like her color, like like that filter, whatever it is that they do, child.
We'll see, honey. We'll see.
2 of the new heifers I don't know about, but I don't like them. don't know. I don't like the new girls.
Yeah, I don't know about the new girls either, and that's what I think. Maybe this was it seems to be like a soft launch, like and like a refresh, to maybe bring the a um younger eyes, yeah, to it. And I mean, rightfully so. It's about time. I'm not looking forward to Phaedra, if I be honest about that.
I don't like Phaedra.
Yeah, I'm not. So we're just gonna see what it's given.
And we're gonna talk about Atlanta. We gonna give y'all a little something, baby. Potomac going to sleep. We got 2 more episodes, 2 more weeks of Potomac. We gonna wake it up with Atlanta. Don't worry. And we still got a little bit more of Married to Medicine. We definitely gonna give it to y'all.
Make sure y'all subscribe so you can be on the live for that.
So you can be here. We gonna be here. Y'all need to make sure y'all here. Come on now. Come on. Okay, so let's get into Married to Medicine. Speaking of Married to Medicine, we're on season 11, episode 11, 11, child. Trouble on Sandbar. On the Sandbar, I think it's on.
Okay.
We return with jokes from Cecil and Dr. Simone about Cecil's shirt being open like King, and Dr. Contessa and Scott also have, morning after jokes about Check being young. He was probably playing Fortnite with their son. But things are a little more serious in King and Quad's room, or was it? Because why is King still drinking? Why they popping bottles? If you just had this, the rum was punching, and now y'all popping more. It's just too much, King.
They on vacation, girl. That's how you.
They on vacation though. That might be. I'll give them a little leeway. They on vacation. Yeah. But that's After y'all it was okay. Anyway, and Dr. G in Sweet Tea room, she expresses she was confused on what happened, and Dr. G just flats out says he got pissed off when Quad said she left him. What? Can we wake that up? So why you got mad about that? Why would that bring out feelings in you, Dr. G? And why would you just tell me like that just went over my head? Like you continue to hold up. That's a problem for me. He apologizes to Sweet Tea for yelling, but says he doesn't apologize for how he feels. How is this man a licensed psychiatrist? We don't know. What in the world can we make of this?
I'm not sure.
Do you think he really loves Sweet Tea?
Because I think I was looking at Quad and King's conversation with the same eyes though, because I'm like
yeah. Because King, he's interesting. I'm trying to figure him out. I'm trying to understand where it's coming from. I'm trying to understand. Maybe it's his first time on camera. He's got a laid back personality. He with a very boisterous woman. He trying to like balance it out and still be himself. Maybe that's what it is. I'm giving him a lot of grace, a lot of leeway, because I like King and I like Quad. But I don't know. We'll see.
I don't know. It feel like they both bothered. Well, y'all coming with the comments. Yes, honey. Come on, honey.
They on vacation. They supposed to be drunk as a skunk.
Yeah, that's what I said. They on vacation, honey. Now you right. Wake up with the mimosas. Pop it. Yes, honey. Yes.
King's trying hard to stay on the show. Well, he got to stay with Quad to stay on the show. Okay. He loves Sweet Tea. I don't know. Because I be feeling like he loves Sweet Tea, but maybe do he know how to love?
Dr. G give me the type of personality. He gonna love who love him.
That's a sad life to live.
I'm just saying. I don't know that he does a lot of the picking.
I know you didn't. I know you did not. Okay.
What? What did I say?
You talk about that man can't get no woman.
That's what you said. He couldn't. I just said he probably ain't picking them out.
He gotta go with whatever comes to him.
That's what I think.
Okay, he trying to get a check. Everybody on there trying to get a check, child. Invite me on the show.
Right, but I don't think the men get any checks. Too. I think it's the women. Now they might get a portion of their woman money, I guess, depending on how that work out. But the men don't get no check.
Yeah, I think on Jersey, is that Jersey? they get the men get something, but the women get less. I think the filming time is shorter to compensate for the fact that the men get money. I think that's what I heard about Real
Okay,
Housewives of New Jersey.
that might be right for them, but again, it still work out the same because that's what like the general protocol is that like the wife would give their husband or whatever,
a percentage. I heard
a portion out of their money.
I heard Carlos King saying that I think it was he said Cynthia. I don't know. Maybe I made that up. Cynthia gave 10% to Mr. Peter.
Yeah.
Lupita.
He not ugly and he got money. I'm not, what I mean, and I'm not even saying that to mean that he ugly. I just mean he doesn't have a lot of confidence. I don't see him being the person that's going out picking up women.
He cheating. He cheating
Yeah,
on Claude.
to somebody who was forward and came on to him and he just went on forward.
And took
You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I'm not saying that he can't pull anybody, but no, he doesn't even look aggressive.
He look aggressive when he was. We'll talk about
it. I don't mean when we see him mimicking female behavior. You know what I mean? Like
Lord. Well.
What I mean is, like King, and now since we're talking about it, let's talk about it. King has a different presence. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so even if he gets upset, his octave is gonna go down. It's not gonna
go,
screech up. You know what I mean?
And that was too much, Dr. G.
Again, and that's all I'm saying about Dr. G. Dr. G doesn't have a certain type of confidence or swag, where I think he walking into a room full of women and he can't, and he picking out which one he wanna, buy a drink for, or take out or whatever. I think he's the one that sends a drink to the other side across the room. Like all of that little stuff that kind of make you feel like a woman gotta come to you type of deal, because he's not putting himself out there like that. Guarantee it.
Yeah. Okay, I see it. I was gonna recite some choir. I saw my husband in the club dance with another woman.
Right.
Okay, anyways, all right, let's get to it. Dr. Eugene, Toya, Dr. Mimi, and Steve leave the resort and get some drinks. They discuss the differences between cool Toya and angry Toya when she gets a few drinks in her. To Dr. Mimi and Steve's surprise, last night they got cool Toya. Toya says she takes ownership of having a candle that may or may not have ignited the explosion of events last night. Who do you think started it?
I don't think it was Toya. I was actually very confused by that conversation between Mimi and Steve, because I felt like after everything that y'all saw, that's what you walked away with. I didn't think it had anything to do with Toya. And maybe it's because I may have found myself saying the same thing, because maybe I have that type of, I don't know, mouth too, where I just kind of will say something. Maybe it's at the wrong time, but I don't think what she said ignited anything that wasn't already ignited.
Yeah, on Dr. Heavenly's live, she said that too. She said that Toya, that's a little Palo Santo, y'all. Trying to get the vibes going. Dr. Heavenly said that Toya started it. Toya said, oh, Dr. G look uncomfortable. That just pointing it out, poking the bear a little bit. So I don't know. Maybe it was more because they also cut out the part where he really laid into saying, shut the F up, because Dr. Heavenly revealed that in her live. It was probably either on YouTube or Patreon, y'all. And she going live in about 30 minutes.
Right.
So we're gonna get some OT over there. We're gonna figure out what she got to say about this episode.
Well, then let me just get into Heavenly real quick.
Go ahead, get it out.
which one you gonna be, Heavenly? You gonna be the producer or you gonna be talent? Because I'm a little tired of this, Heavenly.
Yeah.
That's feeling like not even feeling like that we are watching, produce everybody in the whole show. I'm a little agitated over it.
Okay. Okay.
And her, even with the behind the scenes things and stuff, like, I don't know, it feels, I don't know.
I think possibly it comes in like a reality TV star's life. They just know too much. That's why, they always, like how you say, you got to bring new people in fresh. You got to be, because it's like, it's like a game to them now. Like, okay, I know.
Yeah,
Like,
right.
it's like, they
Yeah.
know too much. They know how to play the game. You kind of got to bring in new, naive people to play with and prob and they
Yeah,
like, I don't know.
right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that might be what it is though, because it's like, I'm like, okay, Heavenly, you gonna be a producer or you gonna be the talent? Because I'm a little over you doing the producing.
Okay, that's fair. Okay, the
Mm-hmm.
Golden Girls link up and recap the previous event. Dr. Simone gives Dr. Heavily her flowers and lets it be known it wasn't her fault this time with the questions. Okay, but Quad and Dr.
They
G.
letting her off the hook because maybe it was her fault. But go ahead.
But Quad and Dr. G need healing. Then they discuss Apollo, Check, and Phaedra. In a world where the whole invite Apollo to show Quad and Dr. G the ropes. But what would that look like? Like, how would that look? Like, how would Apollo and Phaedra really show Dr. G and Qual how to move on and coexist? Like, what would it
You would
take
have
for,
had to see them be that way to
and they
have
ain't do it.
invited him to come and do it that way. Like, we don't know them to have the relationship you
That's the
said
relationship.
they supposed to show somebody else. Again, Heavenly was being messy. Heavenly is producing the show the same way Sweet Tea got on there. Was Dr. Heavenly doing this producing that nobody is paying her for? I'm just saying the paycheck she get from Bravo is to film. She not getting paid to produce. But that's what we watching. And I think she just is messy. And we use good TV to replace messy, because under the line of good TV is this messiness that we get to
Yeah.
see.
Yeah.
And I think that's just her MO.
I feel like the inviting Apollo was to get Phaedra activated. Phaedra wasn't giving them nothing. So it was just like, okay, Phaedra, you ain't trying to give us nothing.
She produced,
She
yeah.
producing. Okay, you're not trying to give us nothing. Okay, let's invite Apollo. Let's see. And then, but at least she told her.
She did.
She told her on and off camera per her words.
She did.
She ain't know about the inviting of the wife and all that. And she ain't know that they was friends, and she ain't know the extra layer.
Well, nobody knew that the man check was coming anyway.
Yeah, nobody knew check was coming. And then she thought Shireen wasn't coming because he said, "Oh no, I'm not bringing my wife." But then he found, yeah, child, it was just a lot of drama for your mama. Let's go on. Let's move on.
Yeah, honey, too much.
Yeah, the cast is on.
Okay, be careful.
The cast is on their tub on the water, as Toya called it, and they are getting started with socializing, getting bottles popped. No rum in sight this time. Only champagne, which could still be bad, child. Then Apollo and his wife Shireen comes walking on the dock of the bay, and everyone is shocked. Phaedra says Apollo was cheating on her with Shireen while Phaedra was pregnant, and they even showed flashbacks from RHOA when Shireen made an appearance there. And Sweet Tea says, here comes another scorn ex in her confessional. But wouldn't that be Faye? wouldn't Fefe be the scoring X if
I think it would be either one. That's what I think. That it's kind of the same thing where it comes to Greg and Quad. That's what I mean. Like when
yeah,
I'm
both
watching
are kind
her
of
conversation with King, you know, it just got a little squeamish because I think it's both of y'all. You know what I mean? Like, and I, you know, and so it's the same thing where Fefe or Phaedra. But listen, this is what I had to say about Shireen. And this is what I really think Phaedra was mad at.
Okay.
I think Shireen was gonna make it her business to get in the same room with Phaedra. I think that Phaedra has been evading that lady this whole time. And I think that has really gotten under that lady's skin. And so the only way she could do it was to ambush because, like I said, we know now that they have been separated. So makes sense that Apollo agreed, number one, and also said that she wasn't coming, number two. So yeah, I think Shireen just, you know, had to make it her business to get in the same place with
and let
Phaedra.
her get a piece of her mind.
Yeah.
I remember my thought from way back from Potomac. What I was gonna say about Jazzy was Jazzy likes to control the narrative. Like she's very pulled up. She's very like I'm very well spoken. I'm gonna get you together. I'm gonna think quick on my feet, and I'm gonna da 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 da. So that whole side chick thing is really like that's really the thorn in her side. She really trying to get ahead of that. What made me think about that is Phaedra. Phaedra like to control the narrative now. She like to be in these ropes, and she like to be pulling them, and she like to be in control. So this is another reason why, child, I'm out of here. Deuces, no reunion, nothing out of me.
Yeah, basically.
But wait, so Phaedra was talking about Apollo was cheating with Shireen, but didn't Apollo? What about Mr. Chocolate?
Well, that's that's what I thought that was convenient. That now at this point, you know, like what is Kenya's favorite word? She becomes a revisionist historian.
That's what it is. That's exactly what we saw on our screen. We ain't talk about the allegations that you had cheating. So yeah, it is some scoring X's, child. Lord, let's pray. Now I done had some wipeouts, but I know how to adjust and learn my lesson. At least in the days to follow. Why is Quad going back to dark liquor? King asks her light or dark, and they're on the boat taking pictures, turning up, making toast. You can see this all going wrong. Even Dr. Jackie saying, "Hey, y'all need to make sure Sweet
Oh no, Dr. Jackie was giving me the old lady. We should have left at the damn crib."
She told what's the Curtis. She was like, "Okay, don't get carried away now. You talk
about again. She was reminding me of the old lady. We should have left at the crib because if you don't drink, that's fine, but don't be policing everybody else drinks.
So, but tell me why Phaedra whispered that rehearsal read in Check's ear, and he says that thing about the goal is to make Whoopi 15 times a week. You can already see it's building up. And that was an obvious shot at Apollo. Then Apollo tells the group that he hangs with Check every week, which makes me think that you remember that scene when she went on a date with Check. I feel like that happened like after to cover it up. But while y'all production, y'all trying to cover up for Miss Fefe. But whatever.
I don't think so. What they did try to cover up was the fact that he said at that same meeting is that he knew them very well. Because I brought that up in our review.
Okay.
I was like, I can't remember exactly what the question was, but and I got a man to go back so I could go listen for it. But I said I found it odd that he said this much, and he said I know her very well, but then he asked this question that was kind of like maybe acting like you didn't know him, and that seemed confusing to me. So I wasn't surprised when they started to talk about just how well they did know him, because I remember him saying, I know her very well. And so, which that's different than I know him. You know what I mean? Like, if I tell you I know somebody very well, that means I know them in some intimate way, not saying like in a sexual way, but what I mean is I've been to their home. I've been, you know what I mean? It's not been we just saw each other in
Hung
passing.
out, my friend is his friend,
If
and
I
he
say
went
I
down
know
to
somebody
play
very well,
basketball.
I know them very well, which
Mhm.
means I know them in some other way, and it's not just a social
Surface, yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm. Mhm.
But
Okay, so
they did make up for her on that one,
but y'all
because
talk about.
they could have played that part.
Mhm. They but y'all was commenting. Was that Sean comment? Sean, you done left us. You was
Uh-oh.
commenting talk about how King need a check. What about Chet? Chet trying to get.
Yeah,
Chet
now
trying to get a
that's the
check.
one. Mm-hmm.
Check is definitely they're trying to get a check. That's he trying to promote his rental company as well. Okay, so let's go on to Miss Phaedra. She, not Phaedra. We already did Phaedra. They make it to the sandbar in one piece. It's all fun and light. The guys chatted up, and Apollo. Oh, the guys chatted up with Apollo, and he mentions every way he's relevant to the group other than Phaedra. And they start the testosterone showdown. They want to throw balls. They want to have push-up contests. Dr. Eugene says he is not having no pissing match with them. What do you think about this mixture of testosterone and Patron on camera? Was it destined for trouble?
It definitely was, but I want to point out King, because I don't remember.
Okay.
It feels like he did it twice, and I think we get into it to the actual scene on the beach, but
Okay, hold on. Wait one
like,
second. You can
mhm.
keep talking.
But it seems like he had a need to call Greg out. So I kind of felt like maybe him during him and Quad's conversation, Quad might have pointed out like, oh, Greg said so and so, you didn't even say nothing. Maybe she didn't give him too much grief, but enough grief for him to think about it and come back the next day, to where now he's kind of in his skin about it. Even though I know it was Greg that kind of brought it up when he didn't have to, like, oh, I just told her she had a big mouth or something like that. So King is like, oh, you said that to her. And so now he has this need to protect her. I thought it felt a little out of balance, just because that happened last night. And if you didn't hear him last night, I agree with Dr. Scott. Like, let the sun rest on this stuff. Like, I don't know if
Yes.
it was as necessary to have this conversation with Greg, in which you had to make it clear that don't talk to her directly, and that it felt like you was trying to chin check him. And see,
Uh-huh.
that's where we going back to what I think about Greg, as far as I don't see him being the type of personality that's going and picking out the lady he wants for the night, and
Mm-hmm.
kind of pursuing her in that way. I don't see him in that confident way. And I think that that's the way a lot of people view him, which is the reason why King thought it was okay, like, to really kind of come to him that way.
But so
Listen,
you didn't like
I
the way
don't
that King approached Dr. G? You feel like that it wasn't good?
I think he could have left it alone. I do.
Okay.
I don't think, like, I don't find where it was necessary.
Okay.
And like I said, I know Dr. G kind of gave his own self away when he said, like when he said, "Oh, I told her she got a big ass mouth," and so now
Yeah, that
he's
was.
trying to figure out, like, well, was you talking to her? And he like,
Mhm.
well, I didn't hear that. And I said, I kind of feel like this is one of those moments where I think Quad might have did say something to him about that.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? And so now here you got your spidey senses up to make sure, you know what
Yeah,
I mean?
you're not
Like,
being disrespected. I feel like it was the element of being on camera too. Like, you're not gonna try me in front of these cameras. And Dr. G was being very aggressive throughout the whole thing. He had his legs crossed, like, and then why would you get up and walk across? Like, what, you doing too much? Like,
yeah, now, I mean, listen, I'm not saying that Dr. G did not cross the line, especially
yeah,
like when he did get up and walk up on them that
yeah,
way. I don't know what that was for,
yeah.
except for trying, like I say, he got little man syndrome. I've already, said that I do think he has little man
He has it. He got it. I diagnosed it.
syndrome. But I do still will stick with the fact that I don't think that was a conversation King needed to have. I feel like I understand why Greg acted out the way he did, because you did approach him like you was trying to check him. And I think that's always the problem from one grown man to one grown up to another grown up. You know what I mean? Like you can check another grown up and you like, what are you talking about? You can't tell me who I can talk to and what I can say.
But that's the same thing he said to Sweet Tea. Cause he was told, said, Sweetie, don't say nothing to her, don't say nothing to her. And then she was like, but I'm not the type of person that somebody talking to me and I'm not gonna say nothing back. And you see it came back and he said the same thing too.
And it's funny you say that, because I think that that's a conversation that's a little bit different, because you are talking about a husband and wife. Like that's about us getting on one accord and moving together. You know what I'm saying? So like I don't know if you remember or if you was even watching, but there was this big conversation on New Jersey about, I think Teresa, you know, she always has a way of saying stuff and people take it the wrong way. But she said something like, you can control your husband. She was talking to one of the ladies and was kind of telling her, like, you need to tell your husband X, Y, and Z so that he can get off my back. So she's telling him, like, you can control him. So this, you know, sent everybody to a tizzy, because, of course, Teresa went to jail because she didn't know what her husband was doing. So, you know, God forbid she tells somebody that they can control their husband, because it's like, no, I can't, you know. But what she would meant in a sense was, if you have a husband, y'all think as one, you have influence over, you know what I'm saying, what's going on and how people act. That is what Greg is talking to Sweet Tea about. I mean, I'm not saying he's doing it the right way.
Yeah.
Just, you know what I mean? I'm just saying, I think that I view that conversation different than what King was saying to him, you know, because y'all not in no relationship together. Y'all don't have to have a meeting of the mind.
Have to see
you know what I mean? And so the way you kind of said, well, I'm gonna let that slide. Like again, I don't know. It felt like it wasn't necessary, and I'm gonna put that on King. Now, I'm not. Greg was immature, but who blames somebody immature for acting immature when you know they're immature? You the one don't know he immature, and somebody then put this battery in your back. You know what I mean, to get this all, you know, set up. When I think I like the way his demeanor had been. I think
he was very calm. I felt
I think he just left it alone. I think he could have said, I didn't hear that. Like when Greg said or whatever, I think he could have kept his composure and said, you know, I didn't even hear that. And maybe he could have said something like, okay, you know, like, we're gonna let bygones be bygones, and let's hope it don't happen again. That, you know, kind of like that. Not in this way where you making it sound like, again, like you can control somebody's actions because you said, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm the same way too. Who are you? Like, you know what I'm saying? Hey, who are you? Who are you? Reese come, I know, right?
Okay, I'm hungry. Okay, so I enjoy King being defensive. I like my man to stick up for me. I like my man to.
But you didn't feel like that was too late? Because here it is the next day.
Because he found out.
Like, you missed that opportunity. And I think that he just really, like, I don't know. It felt like
it was odd that he was just sitting there quiet. But I understand that he didn't. He thought the girl. I thought I understand that King thought that Dr. G was talking to Sweet Tea. He found out on the sandbar. Hey, yeah, I did say she had a big ass mouth. Like, who gonna sit there and you know their history of aggression and police and tussling around with a knife and all that. So he trying to make it clear, like, she with me now. You don't gotta say nothing. She say something to you, don't say nothing to her. But he was very. He ain't come out trying to, you know, like, look, nigga, like, this what it is. He was very even tempered the whole time. He was even tempered when he was taking off his shirt.
But that's what I mean. I think that he could have left that where it was. When the stuff was drugged up again and he decided to go get Greg from Sweet Tea and pull. See, that's the part
in the
that
middle
I'm
of that
saying.
chaos.
It was kind of like, like you really doing too much, dude, right here. Like, and I don't know why this part is necessary. You know what I mean?
Okay. So I screamed so loud when Dr. G says, "Yeah, I haven't been welcoming to you." My 2-year-old said, "What's wrong, mommy?" I couldn't believe Dr. G on the high from barely doing 25 push-ups with his legs crossed gonna say, "Yeah, I was talking to Qual when I said shut the F up." How cringe, how crazy was that? Like, why was he was being ugly. He was trying to like, this my group. I'm good, I'm chilling. You coming in like what's up? Like, what's up with you? What's up with
I felt listen, because
that's what I saw.
Yeah, I think he could have I think he did let him have it. I think he could have left it there. I'm putting that on King's back. I am.
Okay. King discovered straight from the horse's mouth. Okay, we already talked about this. That he was talking aggressively to Quad. Now, okay, you already said you think King should have left it alone. I agree that it was like in the midst of I'm pulling my wife away from fighting. I'm trying to call my wife away. Now you telling me to let my wife go. Like, I was already trying to show off to you, trying to do all these push-ups, and yeah, that was a lot. But I mean, he came to him calm. Okay, whatever. We already said how we felt. Now we visit the ladies in the water. Shireen makes it clear check is for the streets. They sort of grilled check. You can tell he was uncomfortable. Apollo then joins them and says that Check only told him about the part that they were together and got matched on the speed dating, but not the events to follow. Things get heated. Phaedra says, "Why do you care who I date?" Shireen jumps in. She was ready. Like, oh, she said something. Let me hurry up. This is my time. This is our time. Phaedra and Check walks away. Then Sweet Tea gets activated and asks Shireen, "Who invited you? Who invited you?" Then Dr. Damon. Okay, so since Dr. Damon wasn't, in 10 feet radius, Dr. Heavily got activated to a child, and she done fell and broke her BBL. Just like Dr. Jackie, they know they too old to be falling, child. At that age, them falls could be fatal.
That's true.
What are your thoughts?
My thoughts are, Shireen couldn't wait to have a moment. She's thirsty, as thirsty as she was when she showed up at Candy's housewarming those many years ago. And the whole I don't know, Check. Oh, quit calling him her man, and I don't know why she felt it. I don't know. It was just a mess. It just felt thirsty. Tea with Heavenly, Heavenly don't respect that girl. That's why she talked to her the way she do.
Yeah, but the girl started with her though. Now Heavenly be leaving her alone, but Sweet Tea was asking Shireen. Shireen was like, "I was invited by Dr. Heavenly. My husband with Apollo."
Well, and then you asked Dr. Heavenly,
and then you talking to Dr. Heavenly. Dr. Heavenly like, "Bruh, get out my face. You need to be worried about Dr. G. Why you still want this woman?"
See, and that's what Dr. Heavenly does, right? That's what I'm saying. What you gonna do? Be in front of the camera or behind the camera? Because that's the problem. You are getting all of this stuff stirred up. You know what I mean? I don't know. That she is getting the stuff stirred up, and I don't like the way she talked to Sweet Tea. Whether I like Sweet Tea as an addition to the show or not, I have a problem with the way she speaks to her.
Yeah.
And like I say, I think it's not for television. It's because she don't respect that girl, and I don't think she has enough. I don't think she's the right person to treat anybody that way because she don't respect them.
I think a lot of things happen off camera. I watch Dr. Heavily live, and I feel like that Phaedra was making it known that Sweet Tea wasn't handling being on camera, being judged very well, and they was like kind of making it seem like she was having a mental breakdown and like was, you know, so I feel like Dr. Heavily was like leaving Sweet Tea alone for that. So I feel like that's where her not like paying her dust and like, girl, I don't want to talk to you, I don't want to talk to you, or
yeah,
like,
but all of that, but that extreme reaction,
I think that's where the anger comes from too.
like all of that,
that's where the anger comes
that
from
to me is you don't respect that girl, because somebody else could say that to her and she would not have done that. Now, not to say she wouldn't have popped off and said, "Don't ask me," you know. I'm not saying that, but all the who you at? Like, listen to what she was saying to that girl. What she was telling her is like, you can't question me. Don't ask me no questions. I don't owe you anything.
It was a superior.
Yeah, you know, right. That's what I'm saying. Like, listen to what this lady is saying to her. And I like, and for me, like, I'm just fed up with that from her in general. Like I am. You know, it's enough is enough already. Because people do go through a lot being on this show. And who the F are you? You know what I'm saying? Like, to put a person through the test, or, you know, like to make it that, like, I don't like, it's getting real, it's teetering this line.
Yeah.
And it's not a good line. You know what I mean? Which I think is the problem with talent being in, you know, like having those things, these blurred lines cross, you know. And Dr. Heavenly is fastly not becoming a favorite of mine. I'm not, you know, I don't like this. I don't like this for her.
Oh my God.
Did you fall out the chair, girl? Wait a minute.
No, it's not me. It's a moth in here. A moth that came out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I get you. Then try, you know, this computer old as gold, and trying to swap this moth. Then it's two in here.
Whole thing.
Yeah,
but yeah, I'm like saying, to me it's just nasty. She too old for it. You know, that girl is young. She is new to it. Like, some of the stuff, it doesn't, like, you don't even need to put the effort in. Like that, like I said,
try to read her.
It was too far, it was too much. I don't like the disregard and disrespect she had for that girl. It's nasty. So rude and so nasty.
So nasty. So how you think the reunion went? So we see
so rude and so nasty.
So you think the reunion was so rude and so nasty?
Yeah, so rude and so nasty.
Did you see what on Sweet Tea on Watch What Happens Live?
I didn't necessarily watch it all. I did catch a little bit of her on there. Listen, I'm glad Contessa is her friend, which allegedly, I don't know if that's gonna help her get another season or not. But
we'll see.
This is what I wanted to know.
She might get pregnant. She get pregnant.
First time at the clubhouse.
I think that was her first
appearance at the clubhouse.
I think that was her first time at the clubhouse.
I thought so too. So I'm glad Contessa was there to be there with her. She looked like she got some glam, you know, done, and she had
she looked good.
Snapped together, you know.
Our friend Word on the Curb said that wig was big. I could agree that I'm not a wigologist. I don't wear wigs, but I feel like it could have been cut, you know, a millimeter shorter. But I think she looked good. She looked good.
Yeah, she gave us some spanks, like I said. Thank you.
That bra, she took your advice. She heard you. She got that bra.
Thank you. Or it might have been her herself, because we know she be in the comments, honey. So yes, Sweet Tea, you're welcome.
You look good, girl. You look good. Is you on the thumbnail? I think you done made it to the thumbnail. Let me see, child, because I was trying to hurry up and make the thumbnail. Let me see if you made it to the thumbnail. But girl, you look good at Watch What Happens Live. Yeah. You made it to the thumbnail, child.
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay, you say, yeah, you made it, huh? You say, why is Dr. Damon so quiet? He seems so spaced out and barely cracks a smile. Because he just there to show up for Dr. Heavenly. He not with the mess.
I think Dr. Damon, like I said this before, he knows it's a TV show. He knows his wife acting and entertaining. He just know when a man step in, he gonna step in and try to defend his wife. That's his job. That's how he feels. That's his role in their marriage. That's what he feel comfortable doing. That it is what it is. But he was smiling in the confession. Dr. Heavenly said something shady, and he was smiling. I don't remember what it was, but I saw him smile. He be smiling in that confession. He be letting loose a little bit. But I think that's just his personality.
Here and there.
And remember he did that. You know he a cute.
Right.
And he did something with the legs last episode. You know that's their sign. They be doing the legs open. Child. Anyways. I think that's it. We covered everything. We talked about What Happens Live. We talked about the video. We talked about divorce final live.
Well, so it's ending off with King chasing Greg down the street.
But we talked about that. But what you think happened? You think he made contact? He had to make contact if he filed a police report.
I don't know. I don't know. I feel like it went too far though.
Yeah, I don't agree necessarily with him fighting. Yeah. Now checking him, coming up to him like, this my woman, don't say nothing. Like, I know y'all got a pass. You Dr. G trying to get aggressive, like, what you mean? Yeah, I know you're boy, if you don't stop.
That's what I'm saying. Like that's wrong too. You know, not for nothing, and not to say he's not supposed to be in a space where he's protective of quiet. Same as Dr. G should be for Sweet Tea. But what I'm saying is, you don't ever go to, at least the way I see it, you don't ever go to somebody else and think you can tell them about a relationship they were in.
Yeah, but you remember. You remember King and Sweet Tea, they had their toast on the boat. They had a shot together. They said, that's their business. Let them air it out, hash it out. And Sweet Tea talked about that on Watch What Happens Live. She was like, I think she talked about that on her YouTube channel too. She was like, I'm a little bit confused of where it took a turn. Like you said, we were going to stay out of it and let them handle it. So I don't know, child. I think it was a little bit far. He was being aggressive. Dr. G was being aggressive. He was doing too much. Period.
He certainly was.
But I feel like it was too far.
I am putting it on King, because King, you see your sides to his. You know what I mean? Like, you can't put yourself in that position and don't think somebody is going to feel like there's something that they have to do to defend themselves. Okay. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? That's why I'm like, I'm putting it on him. I'm really putting it on him. He is the one that at least presented himself as most in control of his emotions. So I'm putting a responsibility on him to stay in a place, because you know what I mean, like where it doesn't escalate. And I think that he was the aggressor, and I agree. I don't know why, because I think not necessarily why, but I feel like he could have let it ride, and he didn't need to go and pull that man to the side a second time.
Well, we'll see what happens next week. What go down? He's going down to the police station.
Right. Because I guess from this, they probably not even gonna be able to film together. And Phaedra gonna up and get on her private jet. Mrs. Shet came up though, honey. Why can't I meet somebody with a private jet? Child,
too big for that jet. Ooh, belly punching down, trying to get in that. He's too big for that little bitty plane.
Private jet is a private jet now. We ain't gonna
better be careful with all that's going on.
No, you not mad, but this was what, 6 months ago, so they was okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, they gonna get up out of there. Who else leaving? Oh, Greg and
They said 6 people leaving though. She was like, we came with 20.
It gotta be Apollo and Shireen.
So, okay. So Apollo, Shireen, was it Quad and King and okay, now it makes sense.
No, I don't think.
Quad. I think. So was it 4? Is my math wrong? She said we started with 20 and we leaving with 14, or we leaving with 16? She said one of them.
She said 14.
Okay,
so I was thinking Apollo and Shireen,
Phaedra
and Shaq, and Greg and
Sweet Tea.
Yeah.
Okay, child.
Yeah.
I had my old lady brain on.
Because one thing about it, Quiet ain't going nowhere unless her man goes somewhere. I think Quiet I think she finally feels back a part of the group.
She got her happiness. She feel more
because she got like a man on the side. I think with her being single, like maybe she had like a little, something
resentment
about that. It's so we'll see how this.
All right, y'all, like the video, subscribe. We'll be here talking about it. We know y'all love talking about it, so we're gonna give y'all something to talk about. They gonna give us something to talk about. We're gonna talk about it with y'all.
We're gonna have another special guest. What, next week? Is that next week or the week after? Week after. So March 5th. That's gonna be a Wednesday evening. We are going to go into Real Housewives Sweet 16, the upcoming season that is going to start that Sunday. We're going to start bringing you weekly reviews of Real Housewives of Atlanta, and we got a special guest that is going to join us on that. Yay! So make sure you are subscribed, hit the bell notification, like this video. If you're a part of the replay gang, put in replay comments. Go ahead, comment. Let us know what you thought about the video. Like the video also, and subscribe. Thank y'all so much for joining us. Yay. That's another episode.